All right, cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I'm only drinking water. Sorry. Welcome to this edition of Road Trippin. Yep, he knows exactly what's up. This episode of Road Trippin with RJ and Channing. I'm your host, Allie Clifton. Obviously, no Richard this week. We'll get into that in just one moment. But nonetheless, we are excited because we get the very best thing in our guest this week. And Channing, did you know that our guest is one of just 3 players to have hit a game winner this season? His name is...
There's only been 4 games, Allie. Come on now. Good. Congrats.
Okay, thank you. It's Damion Lee of the Phoenix Suns. And Damion, along with you, do you guys know who the other 2 players are?
Ooh.
Oh.
I should know this. I literally watched one of them. It's the Siders talking to me. Hold on.
Damn.
By the way, I also, while you guys are thinking, I did get the specification, a game winner, the technical definition with 24 seconds left in the game, final field goal made with lead changing or breaking a tie. Just for all you fact checkers out there.
Royce
Damion has hit one of them. Nope. 1 came from the East and 2, including yourself, came from the West.
Wasn't it? Oh, Kelly Olynyk, Larry Bird Jr.
Oh,
no. Jeremy Grant.
Yes.
Jeremy Grant.
Yep.
There we go.
Against the Lakers.
Big
yep.
Man, listen, sorry, Damion Lee, I'm going to say this. That was a huge bucket. That's a tough bucket because everyone just looks for Dame. And he remembered who he was as a basketball player and was like, oh, I can go get a bucket and just went and did it. I love seeing that. Dame is Dame, and obviously Simons can go get a bucket. But I like that when you're the second, third, fourth option that you go, man, sometimes they sleep. This is my time, right? And sometimes it's your time, and you got to. And when you do it, no, he did not get enough love for that bucket that he should have. It was more about how bad the Lakers are than how good that bucket was.
Having said that, Damion versus Dame, do you feel like you got the proper love after you hit yours? By the way, the other one was Wes Matthews versus the Sixers.
Oh, I keep forgetting he's in the league. He doing it right. I don't know what he doing. He doing it right.
I remember that. Tobias went and helped off. Boom, we turned around.
Oh, big dummy.
Yeah,
sorry, Tobias is my cousin. I can say that. He's my cousin. I can say that.
Wait, y'all family?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, our mothers are sisters.
Oh, wow. You learn something new every day then. That's dope.
Listen.
But the love after mine, I mean, yeah, I got a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, I'm not I don't be truly tapped in on social media that much, the followers and likes and all that. But when I opened up my Instagram after the game, my phone froze because it was that much, that much of a buzz. But yeah,
damn.
I mean,
let's talk about it's 2022. What kind of phone do you have that's freezing like that?
So when you update
this
your
internet
iPhone,
and your phone. Oh, okay.
When you update your iPhone, they always try to, because they always try to bring out the new one. So I got a 12 right now. I'm in the market for a 14. So if you know someone, you know what I'm saying, I'm on a minimum over here. So if you know someone down here in Phoenix that can help out,
look,
I'm all for it.
You better get us a cricket. You better get yourself a little trap phone.
Dad. Who was one of the people that reached out to you that you were like, wow? Did you have any of those moments?
My high school coach.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he coaches at a high school in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area now. But I talk to him from time to time. But him texting me and all that was pretty dope because he knows my story and where I come from. So solid.
We got to stay on this just a little bit more because I know Channing has a rapid fire thing that he wants to do with you. But before we do, obviously the viral video too of your brother-in-law Steph waking up little nephew. What was that like for you?
I feel like that's as expected though, because that's him, right? Everybody knows Steph, everybody knows my family, knows how they are, and he's just ride or die. I mean, he woke up the kids. I heard Seth woke up the kids as well. So I'm pretty sure other people's family members woke up their kids as well, So just that unconditional love and that vibe was truly amazing.
Now, this is me being Channing. Unconditional
Don't call
Channing.
it a travel. Don't call it a travel.
No,
I know you.
no. I wouldn't talk about the game. I'm not worried about that shot. Okay, congrats, right? There's 82 games. Congrats. Get your flowers. What I'm asking was, what was that conversation like when you had to go to Seth and Steph and be like, yo, what's up? Like, I really like your sister. I want to make, like, what was that like? What was that like? That had to be, that's different. Because we hooping, like, you like, hey, first to 100. Oh, yeah, also, hey, I'm dating your sister and I want to marry her. Like, what is that like?
Shout out to, she is a boss. Anyone that follows her as well, she is a boss.
She is. Follow my wife at Steph Curry Lee. Instagram, Twitter, all that. YouTube, all that. She got over 100,000 subscribers, so make sure y'all tap in.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's doing the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It like that was so long ago, so I can't really like remember what was said.
You blacked out. You know? That's why. Listen, the body gets rid of tension and puts it in the pocket of emotion.
Hey, there's been a lot of exciting things that have happened over, I'd say, the past 6-7 years. So I can't really remember that, but you know, wedding was amazing. Parade was amazing. Trip's been amazing. So, you know.
I'm going to be honest. I thought Channing was going to say, take us into that huddle when it came to you getting that opportunity, hit that last second shot. And instead he just went straight to the family.
Not at all. It's like,
it's a good question.
Allie, I want to thank you for being on, because I know if RJ was on, then they'd be frickin' frat just going back and forth with it. So I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So I've been pretty excited. So I got off the plane literally 40 minutes ago. So I just got to my house 20 minutes ago and then found out my kids took my cord out of my computer, ran over to this side of the house. And so I was like, okay, what can we how can people get to know you? So I was like, I watched that Snoop Dogg interview. I forgot who he was doing it with, but he did a rapid fire of just simple things. And I felt like it made me learn more about the person than any question we could probably ask. So here we go. Right? I need you to answer these questions pretty quickly. Burgers or tacos?
Tacos.
Oh, you're in Arizona. Great answer. A dunk or a three?
3.
Ooh. Wine or other?
Tequila.
Ooh. Snow? Like you like being in the snow or going to a beach?
Beach, for sure.
Ooh. Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast and then breakfast for dinner.
Oh, I love that.
Waffle House. Hey, listen, look, Waffle House all day, every day. Scattered, smothered, covered. Come on. Listen. Cat I know. It's the hash brown order, Allie. God.
Sorry.
Cat or a dog?
Dog.
Jordan or other is your number one guy?
Wait. Either Michael Jordan or other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jordan, for sure. I mean, you got to, right?
Okay. Yep. FIFA or NBA 2K?
Call of Duty.
Oh, hey, do you have... Listen, I just got the new code for the download. I'm trash, but I will play.
Fire.
Sorry, my bad. You know,
that's the stuff right there, bro. Like, you just throwing stuff in my face, man. I ain't even got it. You a big vet.
Okay, I'm gonna text it to you. I'm gonna let you go. Look. Sometimes I got 15 years. You know, look. So you're from Baltimore, correct?
Yes.
So is it Ravens or others?
It's Ravens, but my mom's a Jets fan, so don't hold that. Yeah, don't hold that against.
Sorry. Pause. Explain that.
So my mom was born in New York. I was born in New York until I was like 10. So I claim Baltimore because that's where I started, becoming who I am. So I was a Jets fan until 2 years ago, and I was like, man, I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of just losing. So, been a Ravens fan, took my 1 year sabbatical, and then now the Jets are 5-2, and all my friends are like, damn, you just had to wait another year. That's it.
What part of New York?
Long Island.
Oh, which is wild that Tobias is from Long Island.
Yeah. So where
Anyway,
where I'm
small
from in
world.
Long Island is like 50. So I'm from South Huntington. I was born in West
Yeah, I know what
Islip.
that is.
Yeah. So I'm
Wow.
from like 15 minutes from where Tobias from. Yeah.
Damn. What a small
Super small
world.
world.
Okay, last
Yep.
question. Jay-Z or Lil Wayne?
Jay Z. Jay Z.
Okay.
Top five. You remember that episode of Chappelle Show? He was like, "Give me your top
Yes.
five rapper." He was like, "Dylon, Dylon, Dylon, Dylon." That's me. It's Jay Z 1 through 5, and then everybody else comes next.
I'm not mad at you. All right, but that was it.
Wow. That
I've
was
learned
good.
a lot
I like
about you
that.
in these little questions.
There we go. I dig it.
These are great.
Hang on. What's the one thing you learned about him in those questions?
Number one, he made the right answer when he said taco. That says a lot about him. Number two, the guy got money, so he loves the beach, right? Sometimes, nobody wants to be cold. And then number three, he was a Jets fan. So you got to give him credit for sticking with that booty bunk ass team for as long as they did. It's hard not to be a Lamar Jackson fan. It's hard.
And I did go to school at Lamar for a year at Louisville, so it's not like I'm just a fan. That's my guy. New Era 8.
Ooh.
I like that. I do, having said that, because I was reading through your journey as well, which is your story is really remarkable. Like, as much as you can sit here and say I'm on the minimum, your story is special. And I think too, like a lot of times people don't get to understand that at the end of the day, like you're a champion. I actually am working alongside here at the Lakers Network, a bunch of various fans from around the league, one of which is a big Warriors fan. And I wanted him to help me find that stat, obviously, about the game winners. And I said who it was for. And he was like, please tell Damion. I said, thank you for the Warriors championship, because he's a big Warriors fan. So yeah, you'll always be known as a champion. But having said that, I mean, can you kind of just take us through your journey from even high school, growing up, etc.? I love the video of you surprising your mom with the vehicle. I actually watched it and I cried. Oh my God. But having said that, I know it's
Allie,
special. Moments are so
emotional.
special.
Good
So
Lord.
take us through the whole journey. And obviously you mentioned Louisville, etc.
So yeah, growing up, I mean, like I said, born and raised in New York, moved to Maryland when I was 10 years old. I was really a football player first. That was like my first love football.
What position?
Quarterback, wide receiver, kick return, strong
Uncle
safety.
Rico quarterback, or like what are you? Throw it over the mountain quarterback, or what are you?
I was getting to it. To like punt, pass, kick, all that stuff. I was in like 8th grade. I went to it, throwing like 55 yards, 60 yards. So like, yeah, that was back in the day.
I popped my shoulder out, but go ahead. Sorry, I might interrupt. My bad.
No, you're good. So moved down to Maryland. I obviously played basketball, but like, so where I lived, my first 2 years of high school was like 45, 50 minutes outside of Baltimore City, and that was the high school that I decided to go to. It's called Mount St. Joe. And my mom every day, like our biggest thing was when we moved from New York to Maryland was I didn't want her to work 12-hour shifts anymore. It's like single mom. So my grandmother also came down and moved down and stayed with us. So I ended up going a school called Mount St. Joe. My mom would fight traffic every morning and every evening, take me down to school, hour and a half for the first 2 years. And, it's private school, so she had to pay for it. Ended up transferring after my sophomore year, going into my junior year to another school and conference because in a summer league game, coach was like, how it called timeout, everything starts to break off. Coach is like, who do you think you are? You're nothing but a Division II prospect at best. Don't you ever lose sight of that. So that whole stuff. Ended up transferring to another school. We actually, the school I transferred to was Calvert Hall. We ended up playing Mount St. Joe my senior year championship game. I hit the game-winning free throws. We beat them. Exactly.
Bam.
Then
that feels good.
I'm telling you. And then
that feels
good. The story gets greater later because I'm 17 by the time I graduate. I go to prep school. I actually play with, at St. Thomas More in Oakdale, Connecticut with Andre Drummond. We're on the same team.
Big drumstick.
So yeah. So deciding my colleges,
Big
it was between Drexel, Northeastern in Boston, and then LaSalle in Philly. And I ended up going to Drexel playing for Bruiser Flint. And going into it, they told us it's me and this other kid. They were like, you guys basically have to battle out for who's going to start. Nothing was given to me. I didn't want anything promised, anything given to me. Ended up competing every single day. I'm going at his ass. I'm going at his head every single day. Like that pound the rock mentality. Like you're gonna see me every single day. So after my freshman year, I went rookie of the year. Sophomore year, I think I'm like first team all conference. Going into my junior year, we're supposed to have the best team in Drexel basketball history. 5 games in, we're playing Arizona in Madison Square Garden. We were actually up at the time. Yeah. And we would have won if I didn't get hurt. I ended up tearing my...
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Lent thought he farted, but he shit.
So I ended up tearing my right ACL and meniscus. So I have to get surgery, rehab. Yeah, he's like, oh, shit, it's serious.
Yeah, that was serious. Okay,
so I get surgery, go through that whole process, and the next year come back and play. And, first couple of games, still trying to, test myself, figure everything out. Started to play well. Then end of that year, I end the year the number 4 leading scorer in all college basketball. From getting boxing 1, you name it, the whole 9. And the last game I played, exactly. Come on now, it's especially in college.
Allie,
that's like playing in Europe. It's tough.
I used to get buckets. Allie is tough.
Then my last game playing in a Drexel jersey. The first 5 minutes of the game, we're playing in Boston, playing Northeastern. I go up for a layup. A kid swipes down on me. I feel like a tingling sensation in my hand. So I go to shoot the first free throw. I miss it short. Shoot the next free throw. See the scar right here. So I broke my hand. 4th metacarpal. It was an oblique fracture. Broke my hand. Finished the rest of the game. Had 30 points with a broken hand.
Damn, Kobe.
Yeah. Then ended up transferring, going to Louisville. It was an amazing year there. We ended up having a postseason ban, went undrafted. 2016, go to training camp with Boston, go to Maine. Probably like a week before call-ups are about to start, after the non-guarantees in 10 days. We're playing in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I tear my left ACL. So, I'm like, all right, cool, Not playing in the game, bro. It was the wildest thing. I'm guarding Jordan Crawford, going to went to Xavier. Guarding him. I go to beat him to the spot. Go to cut him off, beat him to the spot. My big comes over, goes vertical. So my knee shifts in, and then my leg is just at like a 45-degree angle, and it just smacks the hardwood floor. So then I'm like, all right, nothing's too bad. I end up, not playing the rest of the game because it wasn't too stable. But I could run forward, but I couldn't do anything lateral. Ended up getting an MRI. The ACL is 2 bundles, 1 bundle popped. So basically, it's the whole same procedure, same surgery.
Wow.
So did that, rehab from that. That next year, got a call up with the Atlanta Hawks. That for the last month of the season. Played well there, no offers. Got a 2-way offer from Golden State. That was the year we went to the finals with Toronto. No offers coming off of that. Then I did the like death deal. That I guess that's what people called it, when you do the first 45 days of your 2-way, and then they either have to cut you or sign you. So I did that for my second year of 2-way with Golden State. Ended up they converted me, and then my deal just ended this past year, ended with a championship.
Wow.
Holy shit. Yeah, so I played with PJ Tucker, and PJ Tucker's story is crazy. And I think nowadays in what I call the Instagram glamour days, people think that everyone's Victor Wembanyama, right? It's just like, these are what 90% of the people who play and make it to the league, who have longevity, this is their real story. Like, they understand who they are. Like, and I'm saying, okay, so my story is not as tumultuous as yours, but I wasn't even supposed to be a first-round pick until the March Madness until I beat all these guys. We went to the Elite Eight. But then it was like, I thought I was out the league after 4 years because I like to shoot threes, and they wanted me to be a center and guard fucking Yao and Shaq. I'm like, brother, come on. What are we doing? I'm 245. What am I doing with that? Right? You want me to shoot hook shots? Stop it. But like, dude, your story is like, should be told more often that you are a legit, valuable option on winning teams. You're not like a plug and play guy on bad teams where you're just going to go get the ball up. And like, you play good basketball. I watch the Suns. Obviously, I'm a Phoenix guy. Your jerseys are the best. Those jerseys almost made me cry the other night, right? I'm at talk to my guys over there. Talk to my guy, Jay Equipment Manager. Shout out.
Yes.
See if he can give me a pair of shorts. But I would say this to you and everyone else listening. Listen to your story. Continue to embrace who you are and how you affect winning. Whether that's once a week, twice a week. And if you're elite, that's 4 times a week. That was the best advice I ever got in my 13-year career. How often do you affect winning when you have the opportunity? Yeah. Right? Because LeBron does it 4 days a week. Guys like us, you, me, where some nights, I'm not going to play. Some nights you might not play. Some nights you might play 24, 30. Somebody isn't playing good. You get 40. How do you affect winning on that? And when they get those opportunities, but some people take that for granted. Like, I deserve this. No, you gotta earn that. It's a lot different. And when you have that, I need to earn this. I said, hey, I wish a motherfucker would put me in the game. That was my attitude when I got to the Suns. It was like, hey, I wish this motherfucker would put me in the game. I'll make this fool look stupid. When you have that attitude, it changes your shift of like how you look at the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's it right there. Like for me, I feel like I'm playing with house money every time I go out on the court. Like
for sure.
Like the journey, everything that it took for me to get here. Like most people would have quit after the first injury, after the second injury, after getting undrafted. Like I'm like, man, playing with house money. So as long as I go out there, I have fun, I enjoy it, and I embrace every moment. What's meant to be on the back end is gonna happen. Like that. Totally. Like I'm a firm believer in that, bro.
So I want to ask you, just because I feel a certain way about the Suns. I feel like I have questions. Now, obviously, you don't have to answer these, and I don't think they're hot takes. How do you think the Suns, how do you think the Suns get back to going to the NBA Finals? And then 2, what is Chris Paul's leadership look like different than maybe Steph's, right, or Clay's? And then 3, how is Monty different stylistically as a coach than Steve Kerr? Those are my 3.
Okay. All right. So 1.
I'll keep you honest. So you can go to 1.
Yeah, 1. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, my brain works weirdly.
1 was the Suns getting back to the finals.
How do you what do the Suns need to do consistently to get back to the NBA Finals? Because your team is stacked. You have a great team, but nobody's talking about you guys, regardless of if you win a game, lose a game, right? Everyone's talking about Golden State or the Lakers or Dallas or New Orleans. You're just that team that's kind media-wise. And I'm saying this on a media side. You're just there.
I think for us, it's just focusing on us. Like, obviously, I feel like 2 years ago, made it to the finals, did what they were supposed to do. Last year didn't end the way that everyone wanted it to. And I wasn't here, so I know that's something that I can't speak on. But I'm big on culture. Like, just that's really been sort of my imprint, I feel like, on the team so far, is just creating that culture. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family, just making sure I get in the gym. Like every day, I'm always, practice started at 11. I'm always in the gym at 9. Just like, so guys see, like, and not even for the older guys, like the older guys understand it and get it, but it's just a matter of making sure you continue to bring the young guys along. And, at the end of the day, we bench mob, like, You know how it is.
Ooh, the benchmark used to hit, dog.
It's gonna be probably 5-6 games during the regular season that we're gonna have to make sure that we step up because the starters are gonna do what they're gonna do. 1 through 6, 1 through 7, that's a given. You can bank on them doing what they're supposed to do. But everyone else just making sure that we prepare ourselves for whenever the opportunity comes, just like you were talking about earlier. So really just focusing on ourselves, knowing what our strengths are, trying to get our weaknesses better, and not being too, critical if we lose a game. Because it's better to have these lessons early in October, November. You don't want to go through that stuff and learn those lessons in March and April.
Them lessons hurt. We won 48 games and learned a lesson. The last game of the season didn't make the playoffs. How about them apples?
Yeah.
48 games, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
This episode of Road Trippin is brought to you by Mindy. Mindy offers a line of safe and trusted hemp-derived CBD products, and I cannot skip out on the fact that it is a women-owned company. I know what you're thinking, Allie, wow, you've never sounded this hype when you're doing these reads. Well, it's because I've had a full night's sleep last night. Before bed, I took some of Mindy's sleep tincture and slept through the entire night. I woke up with a ton of energy and was ready to roll, even though I've been traveling nonstop and hosting NBA studio shows almost every day for the past few weeks. Mindy's products are all natural for pain, sleep, stress, and energy. And with Mindy, you have a choice between full spectrum and no THC. Mindy is a safe, inclusive choice if you're new to CBD. And oh, did I mention they're women owned? Some things, they're just worth saying twice. So listen up, Road Trippers. You can save 30% off your first Mindy purchase with this exclusive offer. Just enter the promo code Road Trippin at checkout. It's 30% off your first Mindy purchase when you enter the promo code Road Trippin at checkout today. I know, Damion, too, you mentioned obviously you were in Golden State last year, so you don't want to speak on what happened in Phoenix, but I think for yourself coming in as a champion and this core unit that you're joining, trying to get to that place, right? Do you feel like that locker room has let go Game 7 of last year, or is that something where you sense and feel they're using it still as kind of motivation?
I think it's slowly going to let go. I think once I feel like just being out there on the court heals all. Just guys being able to go out there, create that camaraderie again, be back. They all had their talking points, coming back from media day about just guys having space and being away from it, which some people may think that that's weird, but that's healthy. Like whenever something like that happens, you need the space away to grow that hunger again. So I think guys really have that. And, guys are so attentive, willing to listen. I know I don't have all the answers, but from being with a championship organization the past 4 years and becoming a champion in the last couple months, it's like I know a little bit, but I'm only speaking up whenever it's time. Like I'm not trying to demand every room and act like I know everything because you know how it is, Shannon. Like the best leaders are the best listeners. Like they know what they don't know. And they're willing to, learn from other people that, have more answers or have more knowledge than them.
I've always said the best leaders are the ones that not only lead, but are willing to be led. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
No, and I also think as a vet, right, when things are high or low, right, everyone goes, well, who's in the gym next, right? Like, to me, the whole jack-off session when you 1 for 11 and you want to go shoot in a court and do something different, man, fuck all that. What do you do normally? And just keep doing that. That's what I don't get moved by that, right? Yeah. I just think that's all for show. That's all for TV. Like, show me what you do when the lights are bright, right? When you got them LED lights. And I always say this, there's 2 types of players. There's moths and there's roaches. The moth, when the lights get bright, go right towards it. Ready? I'm willing to die because I belong right next to that heat. And then the roaches go high when them lights get bright. And I think whether you are a role player, whether you are a coach or a all-star or the man, like an elite talent, like a Giannis or Bron or anyone else, you have certain opportunities when you need to take advantage of that. Now, if you don't do that consistently, you can't do that when they need you. Mm-hmm. It's just a fact. You can't just magically be something. It don't work like that. But if you don't think that you deserve that opportunity based on the work that you've done, you cannot be in the league as long as D. Lee has been in the league. You cannot be a champion as many. You can't go to finals as long as many times as D. Lee has. They could have got rid of him easy. They could have got rid of me. But people need to understand when you play basketball, it ain't all this glitz and glamour. Let me hit you with this workout 6-7 move. Are you in the corner? What is your spacing like? Do you communicate? Are you there early? You talking about 11 and 9. That's when I used to get there. Because that was my role. And embracing that role every single day creates a culture of winning. Because somebody goes, if he's in here every single day, whether he does well or does bad, then I need to be in here. You're holding everyone accountable by your actions that don't even make sense to you, but puts pressure on everyone else. If somebody shows up at 10:58 one day, 8:30 another day because they play bad, you're like, man, get out of here with that mess.
Yeah.
But you're a 10:55 dude.
To the second point of Chris Paul being a leader versus that of, but not to compare that of Steph.
But you have to compare. They're different people.
Yeah,
Allie.
yeah.
I think
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Chris Paul is a true point guard. Steph Curry is an underrated passer, but is the greatest two guard of all time.
Two guard.
Ooh.
Damian.
Sorry. When I say two guard, do you put Jordan as a two guard? I don't know where you put Jordan as a two guard. Shooting guard, like straight shooter. Now that's a hot take.
Straight shooter. there's like pass first point. There's like combo.
Exactly.
It's like okay. I see where you're going.
But I'm saying if Ray Allen and Reggie are traditional two guards, if that's you're going to put him in that realm as the shaker mover shooter, he is the greatest shaker mover shooter of all time.
Yeah, by far.
Okay.
By far.
I'll go check on that box.
Tiny Steph moves mountains. And I hate saying that because I'm Cleveland and I got to look at this. Sorry, Cleveland fans. I'm sorry. Patry.
Hey, I'll have mine soon. So next time we do this, then we can like unite forces with the.
No. We don't want. I don't want to see yours. Man, fuck yours. Just let me enjoy my one.
But let me. So it's crazy, right? Because like obviously being with Steph for 4 years, you see how he works, you see all that stuff, and he's more. I don't want to say more like reserved, but obviously like he'll speak up when, time is necessary. And then being with CP for the past, 2 months, I'd say, 2 months, it's just like, it's so similar. Like they just work and they speak up whenever the time's needed. They're not overbearing. Obviously they have their work and it's like if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes of getting work in, like those 15, 20 minutes are hard. And like even that just like sets the table of that leadership and, just understanding what it takes for them to be where they are. Like every day in Golden State, like practice be at 10 o'clock, Steph being there 8:30, lifting, getting the lift in, doing his thing, boom, all that. I come here, practice at 11. Yeah, I mean, little something, You got
a little 35s. Listen, you get
little 50s, 60s,
Don't say that because that's your brother-in-law. You're gonna get yelled.
No, I mean it's like even Loon was saying it last year. Loon was like he saw Steph was benching the hundreds. Loon had to bump up to like 120. He can't be lifting the same as the point guard. Like that's not, you know what I mean. But then even now, like being here, like in Phoenix, same thing. Like practice at 11, sees in the gym by 9:15, 9:30, getting his lift in, getting his treatment. Pre-game, same thing. Like we both lift pre-game around like the same time. I'm probably like 10 minutes after him. But it's just like that constant, like lift. It's like at least 2 lifts a day, taking care of your body, proper rest, proper nutrition. It's like when you see that, and like I saw that from so many guys in Golden State, that I'm like, that's why they're Hall of Famers. That's why they are where they are. Like, how can I take little tidbits from them? Sure, my journey different, but like, shit, why can't I play 10 years? Like, why not? I'm just learning from all these guys, and even your guy, who actually is my, like, I call him my vet of all vets, Andre Iguodala. He is,
man. Is he the biggest asshole of all time?
by far, but I
the
love
nicest,
it.
genuine. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Andre could listen. Andre could ask me at any point for any favor ever, and I'd be like, Andre, what you need?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that dude.
yeah.
Ben to his wedding. He to me is the most talented player ever to come out of Arizona.
I agree.
More than Gilbert, more than Mike Bibby, more than Sean Elliott. Andre was like, people don't even assume that Andre was the smartest player ever to come out of Arizona. He was getting, I don't know what his grade point average was. He didn't cheat, which is disgusting to me. He didn't even fucking cheat.
Like, who are you?
What is it? What is it, Damion, that you love about Andre? Like, why have you gravitated towards him, and he's your vet of all vets?
Just he's like, to me, he's done everything like that he possibly could have done in this league. He was the all-star player. He was starter. He's all NBA, all defense. Like, he's selfless, was like, okay, what can I do to extend my career and to be an impactful player and win championships? The man came off the bench. Like, he took less. And then just like the way his mind works, how smart he is with his diet, his nutrition. Like, I really started getting locked in on the nutrition stuff when I asked him. I'll never forget. It was my first year on the two-way. I was coming off plantar fascia surgery. And I asked him, I was like, if you were me, and I explained my story, all that stuff, said, if you were me in my position, what would you do? Like, what would you change, or how would you approach every single day? Because, like, I worked hard. Like, that's the basketball stuff all took care of. But I was like, what would you do? He just gave me a list talking about diet, nutrition, sleep, lifting, everything. And it's just crazy how full circle it all comes, because I'll tell you this, when we moved from New York down to Maryland, we lived like an hour 15 from Philly. So my mom worked at a hospital in Delaware, and through her job, she would get like 6 tickets a year to go see the Sixers play. So I would go up. This is 2003, 2004, 2005, even early 06. I would go to Philly games.
We got a dub in there. Elton Brand 05. Elton Brand 05 was a bucket now. Listen, look, underrated. He was
I would go to Philly games and see him. And the first time my mom met him, she was like, hey, I just want to let you know. Because like, I wasn't going to be the one to tell him. Like, I'm his teammate. Like, bro, I remember you rookie years, like all this stuff. Him, Kyle Korver, when he had the long, like, Ashton Kutcher cut.
Oh, boy, he had the Bieber. He had this joint. He had that joint.
What's his name? AI dropped Antonio Daniels twice. Like I was like at those games. So it's just like, for me, coming full circle, I'm like, what would you do if you were in my position? And literally, like, anytime I talk to him, everything, like, I thank him because he was selfless. And like, I was on a two-way. Like, he didn't have to give me any game, give me any information, but he just saw that I worked. And I worked, I didn't know how to work. And now that I know how to work, I feel like it's all coming together.
Well, he's a U of A guy, so we gonna pass it down. We're gonna give you a little piece of bread.
For sure.
We're gonna give you a little piece of bread.
But listen, down, something like that.
Oh, go ahead. Huh?
Bear down.
We don't say that. We don't say that.
Yeah, we do. But listen, I'm gonna say this. One thing about Andre is that he is everywhere. I think he was honestly one of the first guys to, be in Silicon Valley, to really change the image of, to have the opportunity to go into the tech world as a young black man. And I know that you have your own clothing line, you have your own things like that. And so did that give you dealing with Andre, and since you put him kind of on a pedestal, this is my vet, did that influence you to do your own thing? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, every time, he talk about deals or something, especially during the pandemic, I really dove into asking him questions. And he was like, the main thing, when you're going through this stuff, just treat it like it's basketball. He was like, you watch film, there's scouting reports. He was like in the business. He was like, it's just a different landscape, but it's basically the same thing. You have scouting reports, game plans, and then obviously there's like long-term goals for what you want to accomplish. So he was definitely a huge help in the spark of the idea. It was also my best friend, Eric Atkins, who played at Notre Dame. Eric was my inspiration growing up. Like it was one of those, like, if I could beat him, then I could compete with anybody. And I feel like we all have those friends or, those family members where, I grew up only child. So for me, it was like, I always shadowed him around and followed him. And it was like, if I could beat him, then he's the guy. Then I know that I could play against anybody in this world. And he was actually coaching at Howard, then coached at George Washington. He got fired. Well, the whole staff got let go a week after his second child was born. This was earlier this year. So he started doing workouts, personal trainer. He's also been like my, personal trainer as well, besides a guy named Chris Farr. But so we would work out, and he would always type in on Instagram, like, hashtag, get your daily deposits. And the next thing you know, it just turned into from daily deposits to daily deposit crew. So now it's 4 of us, me and my 3 other best friends, Eric, Nate, and Kyle. And then this, as you see, I got the shirt on, DDC, Daily Deposit Crew. Got our gear, dailydepositcrew.com. Got a couple of different logos. This is our iconic logo, the one that we did our first initial photo shoot with. Have a Triad logo coming out, Click logo. We have hoodies, shirts, sweats, jogger sets, baby clothes coming, women's clothes coming.
You got hats,
beanies, mugs, like drink cups. So we got a lot of stuff.
You gotta get your daily deposit.
I'm telling you, hashtag, hey, get your daily deposit in. And it's dope because it just comes full circle. Like my story, telling everything. And it's not just about basketball. It's not about
Totally.
It's not just about basketball. It's barbers. Like everyone has a barber, has a hairdresser, tattoo artists, teachers, nurses, doctors, like just making sure that we're all trying to make sure that we get our daily deposit in every day. We find ways to encourage ourselves to get better. And then we all have a crew, a group of friends that we all try to empower them so that they can become the best version of themselves. Coming out with testimonials soon. We're actually in the process of doing that. So just getting testimonials of people, outside of, sports. Obviously, sports will be our biggest thing, but whether it's people in music, teachers, doctors, dentists, just trying to let people into, the normal everyday life because we have this platform we can uplift and empower others.
Damion, that's incredible. Truly, I hate the fact that we have to let you go right now, but I'm going to obviously respect your time. Having said that, I love when you can, your story is remarkable. I know. Your story is remarkable. That's why I wanted you to share it from your own words. I think it's important for people. Yeah, we look up to you guys as athletes because you guys are these superhuman people that do things that many people cannot. But there's such a humanizing element to each and every one of you. Your story is special. And the fact that you've been able to even move it forward. And the people that were there for you, you now are giving back to them with your daily deposit crew. Obviously, you have the Leeway Foundation as well. You're doing so many incredible things outside the lines, even though you are just one of 3 people to hit a game winner so far this season. Don't forget it. But thank you always for taking the time and joining us. You have to come back because I agree with you. You got off the hook without having both Richard and Channing here. But Rich was calling your other brother-in-law's game tonight, and he got the schedule mixed up. So here we are. Having said that, that's Damion Lee. And it's the Daily Deposit Crew. Go check it out.
At Daily Deposit Crew, dailydepositcrew.com. Plenty of stuff coming soon. And I'll be back. At some point so that we can get the whole thing.
All right. Thank you so much to Damion Lee. He truly is an inspiration. Very incredible. His story is awesome. And again, go check out the Daily Deposit Crew on all of his social media. We're excited and obviously send him the best to he and his crew in their endeavors. Having said that, we're going to dive into all things NBA before we wrap this pod up. But first, our next partner has a product that we're personally using every day, and we're taking it, which is called Athletic Greens, because we want more energy, we want better immune systems, and we get tired of taking all the pills and vitamins. Channing is listening to me. He took his today. In fact, he sent me a video when he took his. On the road traveling, you went from Atlanta to Portland to pick up your kiddo, to the premiere of Black Panther, all the things, right?
It was so good. It was so good.
And you were so energized because of your Athletic Greens.
Absolutely. Without the greens, I wouldn't be mean.
Ooh, I love that. And so you're probably asking, what is Athletic Greens? What is AG1? Well, just to give you an idea, it is packed with 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and even probiotics. And all it is 1 scoop of AG1 and 8 ounces of water. Shake it up, chug it, get it down, replenish all of that goodness into your souls. And we want to make it easy for you. So Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. The best with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/roadtrippin and take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Again, go to athleticgreens.com/roadtrippin and get started today. And I'm sure that it's kept you locked in and supercharged because, Channing, you said that you're going to give some hot takes right now.
I don't want to say I'm giving
scary.
hot takes, but I will say that I think, I'm
Spicy.
looking. Ask me questions and then I will tell you what I think. Honestly.
Okay, we're going to start here. What is your biggest surprise so far of the NBA?
Is not the Lakers. I know everyone thinks it's going to be the Lakers, not the Lakers. I think the biggest surprise is the Blazers. And I know that Damian Lillard is hurt. I don't think defensively they were good enough to win games defensively as they are. Now, mind you, it's only 4 games. Offensively, they're elite. I don't know. It wasn't moving my needle. It wasn't moving my needle. And I think it's because they don't have a backup center. They don't have no bounce from their center position. Like nobody tall, like you can't bring a guy in where you can switch all 5. Right? Nurk is not a switch guy. It's just, he's not blocking shots. He's not a switch guy. He's just a big human who takes up space, which is good. He's very viable for this team. But for me, anytime you have a top 75 player on your team, you should be going for the playoffs every year as an organization. Mm-hmm. I don't care whatever you're saying, whatever you think, whatever any fan thinks. If you have a top 75 of all time, there have been 75 years of playing basketball, and you have a top 75 guy, other than LeBron, under the age of 35 years old, you should be going for a championship. That is special. Not everyone has that. Mm-hmm. That is my attitude towards that. So that's my hot take. I think it's bullshit.
You think that they're even more of a surprise, and I get it, but I think for a team that many people saw on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, they're more of a surprise than what's going on in Philly?
I think when James Harden has dribbled the ball 400 more times than any other player in the NBA. That is a fact. And you think that's winning basketball. Their bench, they brought in guys to be these things. How can you be something when your main guy dribbles the air out the ball, is lost a step, which is true, it happens. Lost a step, can't get by as many people as he could. Is he an elite player? To me, elite is 5, but that's just me. Is he a top 15 player, top 20? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does that system work? It's your turn, my turn system. And then they played Indiana and they got one of those games where you're playing a bad young team, no Miles Turner, no someone else. And all of a sudden, like your bench scores and everyone goes, oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. Your bench just stinks. Your bench stinks. It's either James Harden does well or Joel Embiid does well. Where's Tobias Harris? Where's Maxey? Where's Montrez? Where are all these guys that were supposed to be like, you're trying to win a championship and you only can get one or two guys a night? That ain't it. And defensively, they're solid. But I mean, when things get rough, they are doo-doo. I still think they're good. It is, you can fix that.
I was going to say, what's the answer? Okay.
Y'all got to watch film, and somebody got to take the biggest thing that gets teams from good to great is ego and pride. Somebody needs to go, hey, I need to try harder, or hey, I need to pass more, and that's just honest truth.
Okay, so
the system sucks.
I want to do a hard pivot then from Philadelphia to the Nets, because they were another one of those teams that, depending on what side of the coin you're on, may have been surprising to some at this point. But the recent, obviously, quote that came out after the Nets lost to the Bucks last night, Kyrie defending that of Ben Simmons. The quote was, he hasn't played in 2 years. Give him a fucking chance. We're trying to give him positive affirmations.
For people who just read the quote, do you watch the Nets play? Nobody does. I do. I do because I think because I tried to defend the Nets, I tried to defend Ben Simmons. He doesn't play like he has worked on his game at all. He doesn't play like he feels like he deserves to score or win. He's just out there because it's an obligation. It's how I feel. I don't know if that's true. I have rarely seen a player played more scared and more worried about what are people going to think. Basketball is the most subconscious game, and I say this all the time. I said this from whenever, ever. Because at the end of the day, whether you shoot a shot or not and it gets blocked, if you shoot a shot and you think it's good and someone makes a good play, you go, okay. Oh, shit, that was a good play. They blocked it. He plays basketball not to be talked about. You're supposed to be He plays basketball. He has 7 points tonight. I looked. It's 112 Mavericks.
It's tied up.
Let me tell you his stats. 7. He's 3 for 7. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals.
7 points.
Okay, so Nick freaking Claxton has how many points? In 26 minutes. 7. Oh, he has 4 rebounds, almost identical stats. And this guy's supposed to put you over the edge? The Nets are the most
KD
undisciplined.
and Kyrie are combined 63 right now.
You think that's going to work? All year? Allie.
No, I'm speaking to your point of you got to have that guy to put you over. When you've got your 2 stars carrying the bulk of the load, who is that third option? And to your point, that 7 points is not going to do it.
Even if he's a third option, to be honest, the way that Kyrie and KD are playing now, they go, well, we gotta score 50 to win.
Yeah.
Do you watch them play?
I've seen
how they play basketball. They play basketball like it was Drew League.
Are you buying what Kyrie said about Ben Simmons?
For Kyrie as his teammate, absolutely. I appreciate that from Kyrie. As a media member, as somebody looking into what they're doing, I'm not in his locker room. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm looking at his eyes. He does not even look at the rim, right? He has some emotional damage to being the best version of himself and it not being up to standard. And that's the honest truth. He will not go out there and just fucking go balls to the wall and play as hard as he can and embrace the talent that he has that 99.9% of all players don't have. Because what if I lose, or what if I don't look good? That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. That's it. It's heartfelt, but you have to be emotionally invested in every game, every shot, every possession to be elite. Now, how you do that is different. How Ben is supposed to do that is he's 6'10". He's a point guard. You're telling me he's one of the fastest guys with the ball. He can't get to the rim and attack the rim and create absolute havoc with a team with two guys that average 30 points. Stop it. There's just so many excuses for people not. This is professional sports. This isn't real life. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with a lot of that. And I know I'm going on Channing rant, but the criticisms should come not because of you as a person, but what you see on the court.
Yep. From a player's perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Let me take.
You take a sip. I'll take you to the next one. Because we have to talk about it. You mentioned it. You said that the Lakers, they aren't the surprising team for you. You also said that the Orlando Magic, in your hot take last week with Carlos, were going to be top 8, I believe you said, or did you say 8th seed? Top 8?
8-ish. No.
8-ish. Okay. So having said that,
yeah.
The Lakers and Magic are 2 of 3 teams left winless. The Kings are the other team. Do you want to go in on your thoughts and expound on the Orlando Magic, or should we get to the Lakers first?
We'll go to Orlando Magic.
Okay.
I think when the Magic stopped falling in love with watching Paolo be amazing, and when they embrace that they need to shoot the 3 better, mm-hmm. they're going to be absolutely disgusting. They've been in almost every single game. They haven't really got blown out by 40, 30. They tried. They have athleticism. They have defense. Everyone is just vying for time. When the pecking order when it goes from this to this, mm-hmm. Listen, the Pelicans were 1-11 last year. 1-11, 1-12. I'm not worried about the Orlando Magic. I'm not worried about the Orlando Magic. They have everything that you need. Their chemistry is great. Even when they lose, look at them. Look at their attitude. They're understanding why they're losing. And a lot of it is they just don't have shooters. And that's just the truth. Like, they don't have guys that are willing to just stand in a spot and shoot the ball based on what somebody else does. But that's learned. Mm-hmm. And I believe in Jamal Mosley.
And they also have their culture. Yes, and they also have that opportunity right now in the time because they're rebuilding. You don't get the number 1 pick, and you're not expected to be in the finals in that same year.
No, totally. Freedom of mind is the most dangerous thing in the NBA.
Ooh, expound.
If you can go out and just play basketball, Allie, and your coach goes, Allie, you're going to set them dirty-ass screens. You're going to get maybe a layup or 2 and some free throws. You're like, yes, here we go. Elbows, pow. You're going to feel good. Yep. When somebody asks you to be something different than yourself, or that they go, hey, you got 4 shots tonight. You're like, fuck. Mm-hmm. What if I get 5? You tight. You can't play like that.
Yeah.
People go, basketball is a thinking game. Basketball is a repetitive game that needs to be practiced at the highest level. The best teams practice against the best players. This is honest truth.
Look at you, dropping knowledge. I believe in that. All right, let's end with this then. The Lakers, they are 0-4. First time for LeBron James to start his season 0-4 since his rookie season. Change is coming. We got into a little, it was kind of one-sided. I let you go on your rant last week after the Portland Laker loss. I had my thoughts. And you had yours about this squad. I mean, for someone like myself who obviously is covering them day in and day out, I go to the practices, I listen to the coaches, I listen to the guys, etc. Just like you asked me, am I watching other teams? Because I know you have heavily invested in that as well. I've been very impressed with their defense. I have. and call it and say what you want. The number 2 defensive rating team in the league. They lead the league in steals.
4.
Okay, they were 2 before last night. Thank you. Either
2,
way,
4,
top 5.
6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Somebody not in the playoffs. What are we doing? You play all the defense
like you
want.
No.
Listen,
Okay.
Stop it.
Look, for a new coach coming in, Darvin Ham, this has been the focal point since day one. I've appreciated that side of the ball. Do I agree with LeBron when he says we can't shoot a penny in the ocean? Are we shooting horrendous, historic numbers from outside? Can we not shoot, period? We, not as in myself, obviously the Lakers. Yeah, that's been tough. But at this point, I want to know from you, as someone who sees it from a national perspective, someone who has 13 years invested in this league and an NBA champion, change is coming?
I think, you know what? Jamal Crawford made a really good point. We did a show together. Ego and pride are the end of most things. And here's the honest truth. And this is not about LeBron. This is not about Russ. This is about AD. This is I'm not going to say 100. 92% about AD. He's the youngest. He has the ability to play 3 different positions. He is the prototypical center forward, small forward, if you want to play that in the league. AD for the last 2 or 3 years might be the worst jump shooter in the NBA per shot. Do you think my stats are wrong?
That percentage is down. Yes.
Okay. Down or like top.
Are you
like bottom?
My whole point here is his 3%, his 3-point percentage does not.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about jumper in general.
Yeah.
So if you are, and this is what I try to tell people, you're looking at the player. You're looking at what he might be. If I'm a GM, if I had that job, if my family needed to eat based on the product that is going out for the Lakers, and I am the fucking Los Angeles Lakers, other than LeBron, everyone is on the block. This is just the honest truth. It's the honest truth. You have to take pride and ego out of it, and you have to say, what is our best chance to be not only great this year, what is our chance to be great for years? So, and here's also what I say. Take Bron and AD off the team and just put Russ on that team. How many games does this team win? 30? This is an awful team. It is an awful, put together team of what if. All these things are what if. There's nothing.
We'd all be drunk.
Well, listen, after this, let's go get some margaritas. But look, what is Lonnie Walker? You don't know. Every time he does something good, you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know he could do that. Because he's never done it. But then if he doesn't do the next day, you go, okay, that's cool. Who can you expect out of what consistently on this team? No one. How do you, and your expectation is to elevate 3 top 75 players who don't work together? In my mind. So
you're saying changes have to happen. If this is going to get better for the Lakers, changes have to be made.
Everybody is on the block. AD, Russ, Lonnie, Pat Bev, everybody's on the block. They have to. It's not about their feelings. It's not about their image. It's not about anything. For me.
Yeah. And end of the day, Darvin Ham
it's
came
the
in and
Lakers
said it from the very
are
beginning.
more important than the player. If you are on that position, none of them are supposed to be put together. This is a tomato, pickle, pineapple smoothie, and it just ain't it. It got fiber, but that's it. You're going to shit yourself watching them. It's gross.
The only thing I disagree with is Bron and AD have won a championship together. I don't think
in a situation, Allie, let's stop it. Let's stop it. AD won a championship. Give him kudos. After that championship, he has not shown any traits that he can replicate that
elite level of play.
At no point. Every time he hurts his back or twists his thing, it is now a mental thing, not only for him, but for us as fans. Allie, when he hurt his back, what did you say? What did everyone say?
You get nervous.
Everyone gets nervous. How do you play basketball like that? How are
the
you
only
the
way
best version of yourself? Allow him to bring somebody in who you can win. This is the Lakers. We're not Dallas or OKC or Utah, where it doesn't even matter. We're like, make us to the playoffs. The Lakers and the Celtics, Bulls, Miami, these teams are different. And we need to come to the realization, yes, thank you. Thank you for that championship. But sometimes, hey, the shore gets shallow. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's not a disrespect to him.
I respect your absolutely, and I respect your opinion. And at the end of the day, as well, too, the championship in 2020, and since then, he had only played in 76 games over the last 2 seasons. And he sat on that desk though, and he said, "My goal is." You could sit here and you could say Defensive Player of the Year, you could say MVP, you could say all of these things, but at the end of the day, his goal was to be there for this team and play all 82. So one thing I do, to your point, yes, when he falls, first of all, going from 7 foot to the ground, it's a lot. It's a lot for anyone.
Allie, you don't say that when I fall.
Yes, I did. I always said that. I held my breath for you.
I hate it.
I also freak out. I also freak out when you come to LA and don't hit me up and then you throw a tantrum. Thank you. Having said that, for Anthony Davis, I appreciate him pushing through. I appreciate showing that he wants to be out there. But you're right. You have to be, your best ability is your availability. And in order for this team to get to where they ultimately want to be, he has to be at his best 100% for them to fully succeed.
If Bron and Russ don't play, how many teams you think with AD and this team, how many games they win?
Exactly. There's a lot to it. Yeah, you're right.
What is the number?
The construction, the roster.
What is the number?
I don't know, because I don't like to live like
30?
that way. Again, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Well, listen, I'm trying to get there. Thursday's my drinking day. So.
Well, okay. Well, I think we're saying the same thing at the end of the day, and we will see what the Lakers end up doing. But
okay. So here's what I'm saying. So I'm not critical of AD.
Yeah.
I'm not critical of Bron or Russ. I don't think they're playing to their best, because if somebody goes in for sushi and somebody gives you a slice of pepperoni pizza, you're like, what the fuck is this? Right? But then you go to a pizza place, you're like, yes, this is exactly what I want. This is not what they don't work together. It's pizza, sushi, and chicken shawarma. They just don't work together. But for me, I'm upset as a media member, as somebody who understands how basketball works, is that you're allowing these players to get roasted daily because it is their job to do the best of their ability. You're asking them to be something they are not. There's no fucking shooter on that team. And if you say Matt Ryan, I'm going to punch you in your jaw. This dude is appreciative of just being in the NBA. Wasn't he packaging Amazon packages 2 years ago? And you want him to be an elite shooter in the NBA with LeBron? Do you know what mental, it's crazy, the expectation that brings.
Mm-hmm.
Do your job, upper management of the Lakers. I don't care who it is, GM, president, owner. You are the Lakers. Put a good product out there where you at least have a chance, or the product is indicative of the city and indicative of the people supporting it. Unless just blow it up and go for Victor, which I would also appreciate. But that would be kind of tight.
Oh my God. You and Flea both are stealing a line from the same book. Flea had the same.
Flea. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Flea had the same tweet today as well. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. I appreciate your energy,
sorry.
Channing. I really do. No,
I came in hot. I came in super hot.
That's exactly how we want it.
I'm going to get yelled at for a couple things, but that's all right.
Having said that, you're entitled to your opinion. Having said that, let's end on a lighter note. because I actually saw this from Charles, and I know that you would agree, I think. The Cavs. Charles said they could be scary. The Cavs. Need I say any more? Are you watching what they're doing in Cleveland?
Allie. I don't know if you watch Handles on Tuesdays between 6 and 7
Oh my
Eastern.
God. Shout out. I do.
It feels so good to be back, man. Shout out my girl, Kristen Ledlow.
Seriously.
We're finally not at 2 a.m.
You guys are awesome. It was so fun.
Feels so good. No, we're only going to get better.
Talk about?
We just talk about just stuff. Every week we talk about what's going on this week. And Donovan Mitchell, for him to score 30 like that is two things. Number one, he's getting good shots. And I'll say this, Donovan Mitchell to me as a player on Utah was a little piggy. He was so hungry and thirsty for shots. He was like, give me the ball, give me the ball. He is playing real basketball and shooting efficiently where it equates to winning. And I love that for him, and I love that for the Cavs. When Darius Garland, when the Pirate comes back, right, because the eye is the groin of the face, he is going to make everyone that much better. As a vet, I would assume I worry about Evan Mobley only because I think he had high expectations for himself this year. I need him to understand that you can't just, it's not this. It's this. It is this. You may not be talked about for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden you're in the MVP race.
Yeah.
And as fast as you're in the MVP race, you're off of it. Look at DeRozan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Julius Randle, right? For me, stay the course for all my young guys. Give Ricky Rubio back. Make sure that Kevin is healthy. Make sure that, all the guys, Okoro to me is that extra.
Yeah.
You need to tell Okoro, I need you to make 1,000 corner 3-pointers all day, every day. All day, every day. I need you to watch Dorian Finney-Smith. If you are Dorian Finney-Smith and better, I think he's more athletic. I think he's more physical. I think he's better defensively. No offense, Dorian Finney-Smith. I think I fuck with him. He's my fantasy team. If Okoro can replicate that, this team is going to be crazy. Crazy. You need somebody where you just know, whoop, you don't even have to look. My man is going to be in the corner, and that is a 40%, 30-40% shooter.
They aren't there just yet.
No, totally not. I don't expect him to. It's game 5. What are we talking about?
Holla
at me at Christmas.
Having said
Take a drink. 2 drinks.
The noise. The nose is the groin of the face.
No, it's not. The eyes are. Are you kidding? I got hit in the eyes and screamed like a girl one time. No offense. Screamed crazy.
Dad, remember to go check out Damion Lee, the Daily Deposit Crew, and all of his good things. He was amazing on this episode. And so were you, Channing. All the energy.
I went on my rant.
It's another edition of Road Trippin'. Fuck you, Richard.
Fuck you, Richard.